What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we are doing something different than NASCAR freaking content for the first time in a very long time. And it actually has to do with our Budget JK Wrangler build. We hit a milestone today, and honestly, I'm going to talk about my honest opinion about owning a lifted JK Wrangler. So as many of you guys know, I own a 2008 6-speed JK Wrangler, and I bought it for my wife, and I just decided to do like a budget build about a year ago, or a little bit longer than a year ago. And I'd have to go back and look at the exact mileage of when we bought this Jeep, but I'm pretty sure it was like right around like 60,000 miles. And long story short, we just hit 100,000 miles on this Jeep. And let me tell you, as you guys can see, the camera's shaking, everything's wobbling all over the place. Owning a Jeep looks cool, just personally not my thing. And we're gonna get into a couple things as to why I'm not really a big Jeep fan. Now let me start off by saying I love how this thing looks. It's just I don't like the way that it feels. And I think a lot of that has to do with the lift that we have, and you know, it is a 2008, so it's 12 years old, and the death wobble in this thing is just, we've tried everything to try to help the death wobble. No matter what we do, it's still freaking there, which is, it's kind of annoying. It makes it not enjoyable to be in the Jeep or drive the Jeep. When I get into a vehicle, I just want to be able to go and not deal with that. So that's pretty insane, like, that the Jeep just kind of wobbles like that. Pretty sure that would be deemed unsafe. Right now, we just pulled up to Dunham's Sports because I've actually picked up a new hobby, and I saw something the other day when I was in here, and I'm like, I should have bought it when I came in the other day, so if it's still there, I'm going to pick it up now. But for those of you guys that haven't seen the Jeep, I'll do like a walk around of the Jeep once I'm walking back out. This is such bullshit. Alrighty, so back in the Jeep, they did end up having what I wanted to go there to pick up, but the new hobby that I've actually picked up, just kind of nonchalant going with a couple guys from work, is actually golfing. If you guys can believe that. My goofy ass golfing. Yeah, it's actually a thing. So I bought a set of clubs, you know, because I'm cheap. Bought it off of Marketplace for 25 bucks, right? I'm left-handed, so I really didn't want to like buy a brand new set of clubs, because let's face it, I already knew I was going to be freaking terrible. So I did want to try out a new driver, and when I went to Dunham's the other day, they had a driver which was like 100 bucks or so on clearance for 40. And I know some of you guys might be like, it was on clearance for a freaking reason. I don't give a shit, you know, as long as the ball connects with the driver and it goes that way, I'll be all right. So I'm actually going golfing again on Saturday. Today is Thursday, so I don't know if I want to take you guys out on the course, but if you guys would like to like see like incorporated in some type of video, whether it's just a golf video or not, maybe me at the range before we head out, maybe you guys can critique my shot, because let me tell you, as a kid that played baseball, it's very weird going from baseball to golfing. And because I'm left-handed, nobody in my family ever had left-handed golf clubs. So yeah, it's new to me. Anyway, where were we? Talking about the Jeep, right? Just make sure you guys comment if you guys want to see me at the driving range. By all means, tell me that you guys want to see me at the driving range. But this Jeep, all right, so it was fun as hell to build. And like I said, it looks cool. It's just, I don't know. If I were to dump the amount of money that I dumped into this Jeep, between 1, buying the Jeep, and 2, building the Jeep, and 3, maintaining the Jeep, I'd have a really badass diesel truck. That's just my personal opinion. Instead, my dumbass still has my clapped out LB7 torn apart and sitting in my driveway because, I mean, let's face it, kind of like the whole golfing thing, I go in phases, right? So my truck, I've given up on it, like, for right now until, like, I make my decision with what I want to do on the truck. So the Jeep has really been like a daily driver for my wife and like me whenever I want to dick around. But I did go out and I spent the money that I guess you could say I could have fixed my Duramax with, and I bought a Harley. But to be honest with you guys, I enjoy having a Harley and putting the miles on the Harley, so I don't regret that. Plus, I love the older diesels in comparison to newer diesels. So I think ultimately, once I get to fixing the LB7, I'm I'm gonna do everything that I can to make it everything I ever wanted. But with the Jeep, I don't really see anything else changing with this Jeep, and that's why you guys really haven't seen it on the channel a whole lot. Is we built it, and then there was plans of using it to, you know, take it off-roading and do this and that, and then life kind of happened, and you know, this happens to everybody, right? So you have this intention at that point in time. The Jeep would have been just an extra vehicle, and we could have taken this and just beaten the piss out of it and taken it off-roading and just had a blast. But the problem is we use it as a daily driver now because of my truck being in the situation that it's in. So I don't really want to like take it off-roading, have something happen, and then we're literally left with just the 2004 Jetta and my Harley, especially going into the winter. So we're trying to baby it. I don't know, maybe we will do something with the Jeep later on down the road. If anything, I feel like I would probably change out the suspension, at least change out the shocks and just kind of beef everything up and make everything a little bit better. But when it comes to driving this thing, I don't get the enjoyment out of driving it. Like, I get it, like, driving a Jeep and owning a Jeep is such a cool thing. Like, I'm very proud to know that, like, I own this Jeep and I built this Jeep in my driveway, but in the same token, it's like, I don't know. I don't get in it and have the same thrill as like what I had with my WRX or even my Duramax. Like when I would get my Duramax, I'm like, damn dude, I drive a Duramax. But now it's like, yeah, it's just a lifted Jeep. Every Mo, Dick, and Larry has one, you know, and that's how I feel, which is really unfortunate. I guess it's frustrating because like everybody that has a Jeep either A, keeps it stock, or they do like the same modifications. So like everybody lifts it, puts on 35s, and then if you're really into like off-roading and stuff, you go with a bigger lift and bigger tires. You know, we're lifted 2.5 inches on 35s, and I think that's more than enough for what we need, you know, for what we do. You know, ultimately, once the truck is fixed, I would love to do some off-roading videos for you guys, but unfortunately, until the truck is fixed and, you know, that, or I just compulsively buy another truck, or we won't talk about that. Sorry for blabbing your guys' ears off, but honestly, it does feel nice to not be doing video game content and different stuff like that, and I really want to get back into doing that, like putting the video game content as like maybe if we do a second video that day. Though you guys have been really awesome with the NASCAR throwbacks for NASCAR Heat 5, I think I'm still going to continue to do that, but it feels good to just like go back to like the traditional vlog style of doing things. And you know, the downside with this Jeep is it is the 3.8 liter, which obviously now we've hit 100,000 miles, and yeah, it's a matter of time before we run into some type of issue. And I always told myself, if the body's still in good shape in this thing, we will motor swap it. It's just a matter of in due time when that comes and when that happens. And you know, obviously I'm hoping the best that this 3.8 continues to kick and continues to do well. I mean, it does eat oil pretty bad, which is a downside. But you know, if this thing can last us another 40, 50,000 miles, I'll be happy, you know. And ultimately, like when I think of Jeeps, and I'm not trying to like sound like weird in any type of way, I would almost rather build an older Jeep than a JK. Even a TJ I would prefer to build, but unfortunately, you know, this is what we got. This is what my wife wanted. My wife wanted the 4-door, so that's where we'll let it with the Jeep. I mean, overall, like I said, I mean, it looks cool. It's just not my style. And if there's any Jeep guys that are on my channel, or you're stopping here for the first time, like, I give you guys props, because in order to be a Jeep owner and kind of tolerate the headaches, the financial burden, and like all the other nonsense of owning a Jeep, it takes a special type of person to deal with it. It's almost like having a sports car or having a diesel truck. Like, you gotta pay to play. And obviously we have been paying to play. And it's just a matter of time before something goes south and we find ourselves in the same situation as like the Duramax. As you guys can see, the Duramax is still in limbo, but I've been riding the Harley a lot. So just to give you guys kind of a view of the Jeep, armored bumpers on 35s, to me looks cool, but it's nothing special, you know what I mean? And I think that's what kind of like, not bothers me, but like, I always dare to be different. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling for however long this damn video is. But the Jeep hit 100,000 miles. Fingers crossed that nothing detrimental happens over the next couple weeks. Make sure you guys drop a comment down below if you guys want to watch me at the driving range on Saturday morning. Stay tuned for tomorrow's NASCAR video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.